I'm going to be showing you how to make a fun toy for your cat out of simple things that you have at home. So for this toy, it's called a Pom Pom, and it looks like this. You can make them in different sizes. So the only thing that you really need for this toy is yarn of your choosing. It can be any color, type of brand, and a pair of scissors. So without further ado, let's get started. So you begin this toy by taking your yarn, and like I said, it's any type you want, whatever color. And I kind of just have it ready. So as I showed, you can make this toy in different sizes. So you can make it a little bit larger, or you can make it more of a medium size, or you can make it even smaller, just depending on what size you want to make or what you think your cat will enjoy. So I'll give you the instructions. So for this one, I'm just going to show you the middle one. So to make the middle one, you're going to take your yarn and you're going to wrap it around 3 of your fingers. So you do it and try not to let your fingers bunch up too much. If anything, it's better to spread them out a little bit. So you do that. And for 3 fingers, you're going to wrap it around 75 times. So if you were to want to make a smaller toy, you would wrap it around 2 of your fingers for 50 times. Or if you wanted to make a larger toy, you would wrap it around 4 of your fingers for 100 times. So a simple rule of thumb is that you can multiply however many fingers you're wrapping around by 25, and that's an approximate number for how many times you should wrap it around. And you can always wrap around more if you want it to be a little bit thicker, or less if you don't. Also, the type of yarn that you use plays a role, because if you have thicker yarn, you probably won't need to wrap it around quite as much. And if you have thinner yarn, then you might have to wrap it around just a little bit more. Okay. So, and the next step we're going to do is you're going to gently take it off your fingers. So just slip it off. You're going to keep it in a nice little pile. So now you are going to cut it from your spool of yarn so that you still have your little pile. It's just separated. And try to keep it all nice and together. It's okay if it's a little messy. So now you're going to take the yarn that you have over and you're going to cut a piece off. I like to make this piece a little bit longer than I may need, just in case, especially in the beginning. So here's the piece that I cut. You can see it's about the length of my hand. So you're going to take this piece of string and you're going to lay it across the middle. So once you've laid your string across the middle of your little pile, you are going to take it and flip it over, just so that's on the back, so your string is underneath it. And then you're going to pull it. You want this to be in the middle of the widthwise section. So you want it to be in the middle, and you're going to tie it into a knot at the top. So you do that once, and you pull it tight. And then I find it easiest to hold it with one finger to tie the second part, because you need to make sure to double knot this, because otherwise it definitely will come undone and that will not be good. So you double knot it, make sure it stays. What I typically do is I take my strings on the side that it's knotted and I wrap them back around, so both strings back around, and I tie it on the other side as well and do the exact same thing that I did on the first side. So I just double knot it just to make sure that it stays nice and tight and that my cat can't undo it and make a whole mess of yarn. So double knot it. So once I've done that, you can see that the strings that I tied, these 2 ones, are a little bit longer than the rest of them. So you can either choose to cut those off now, or I'm going to trim up. So now we are going to you can see all the little loops that are made. It kind of looks like a little circle here. So we're going to go in the loops and we're just going to cut them. So I do this by picking a little section of each of them and cutting it. And you just do it all the way across. You're going to cut all the loops that you see. So I typically just go and work my way around the circle. And it's okay if you miss a few. You can always go back and try to find them. So you're just cutting them all up. But yeah, it's almost guaranteed that you're gonna miss at least 1 or 2. I don't think I've ever gotten it perfect on my first try, but either way, it's gonna look great. So just going all the way around, almost done. And now I'm just gonna look for any loops that I may have missed. And then if you find it any more at any other point, you're welcome to cut them then. So now, obviously my toy is not all the same length. And I even pulled out a little piece of the yarn. But now you can go and trim up your toy just to your desired length. And that's why I was saying the little tie pieces, if you didn't trim them before, it's okay, because you can trim them now. And you can just cut it, or you don't have to even trim it at all if you want your toy to be that different pieces of yarn, different lengths of yarn. That is perfectly fine. It's just up to personal preference more so, and just what you think your pet will enjoy playing with. So I try to make them as circular as I can, but you can make them oval. You can try to make them into fun shapes. You can be as creative with it as you want. But typically, even when I try to make them circular, they're never exactly perfectly circular. So I have to just try my best. You can kind of fluff it out a little bit to see how it'll look. Okay, so once you have cut it to your desired shape, then you are all done. Thanks for watching.